Hello everyone, today we'll be looking at a beautiful game played in 1995 at the Tal Memorial between Garry Kasparov and Viswanathan Anand. Kasparov opened the game with e4, Anand replied with e5, then came knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4 and bishop c5, the classical Italian game, and now Kasparov played b4. The Evans Gambit. Black is almost forced to take on b4, and after bishop takes b4, c3, bishop e7, d4, Anand played knight a5, attacking the bishop on c4, bishop to e2, and now e takes d4. At this point, Kasparov had two options to take with c-pawn, c takes d4, or queen takes d4. After c takes d4, black would easily equalize with d5, completing development and castling without problems. So, therefore, Kasparov played queen takes d4. His goal was to develop his pieces faster than his opponent. Anand continued knight f6, then e5 by Kasparov, applying his usual constant pressure. After knight c6, attacking the queen, queen h4 was played, then knight d5, again attacking the queen, queen g3, and now black played g6. Short castling here would have been a mistake, because after bishop h6, black could not defend against mate on g7 except by playing g6, after which the rook on f8 would fall. So black played g6 in this position, then white castled, knight b6 and c4, taking important central squares and freeing c3 for the knight. Anand played d6, hoping white would capture, and after bishop takes d6 would relieve the pressure and allow easy development for black. But Kasparov played rook d1, pinning the queen along the d file. Black broke the pin with knight d7, and now white played the crucial move, bishop h6, preventing black from castling and ignoring the pawn loss on e5. Anand took on e5, and after knight takes e5, knight takes e5, Kasparov played knight c3, completing development. A weaker player might have hurried with bishop g7, threatening both on e5 and h8. Black's only defense would be bishop f6, and after taking on h8, computer evaluation shows that black would be clearly better here, since he would finish development easily with moves like bishop e6, queen d7 or queen e7 and long castling, or even bishop f6 and king f8, king g7. Black would then have excellent play, since the black king faces no threats on the dark squares. That's the reason why Kasparov calmly continued knight c3, Anand played f6, reinforcing the center and opening f7 for the knight. Kasparov kept up the pressure with c5, and after knight f7 attacking the bishop, Kasparov played c takes d6. Anand couldn't take the bishop on h6 because after d takes c7 his queen would be trapped. So he took c takes d6 instead. Let's see what would have happened if he had captured with the bishop on d6. White would reply bishop b5, and after c6, bishop f4, the rook on d1 would show its power, pinning the queen. Black would have to capture on b5, then after bishop takes d6, knight takes, rook takes d6, the black queen would be forced to a5, because after queen e7 or queen c7, knight d5 would solve everything, attacking the queen and threatening to capture on f6. So queen a5 would be forced, but then after rook e1 check, king f7, white has a brilliant tactical shot that I leave for you to find. Pause the video and calculate. For those who found rook f6, well done, it's a brilliant tactical blow. With no defenders left for the king, everything comes with tempo. King takes f6, knight d5 check, king g7, rook e7 check, and after king g8, queen e5, and there is no defense against mate on g7. So after c takes d6, black was forced to play c takes d6. Then after queen e3, black finally took on h6, but after queen h6, black played bishop f8. Let's briefly see what would have happened if he had tried a normal developing move like bishop e6. Kasparov would play queen g7, and now rook g8 isn't possible, because after bishop b5 check, bishop must retreat to d7 and rook on g8 would fall. So after queen g7, black would be forced to play king d7, defending the rook on h8, but here white has the brilliant tactical blow. Rook d6 check. Black must take with the king, and after rook d1 check, the queen falls on d8 along with the bishop on e7. If black, for example, plays king c7, then rook d8, and bishop cannot take because king is pinned. So after rook takes d8, queen e7, and black is simply hopeless here. So bishop f8 was black's only move in this position. Look at this position. All of black's remaining pieces are still on their starting squares, while his king is exposed from every side. Meanwhile, white has developed all his pieces except the rook on a1, which can enter the game in a single move. White continued queen e3, check. Black played king f7. Let's see what would happen if black played queen e7. Then knight e4 would follow, attacking the pawns on d6 and f6. Of course, white would not trade queens, since then the attack would vanish. And after, for example, queen e5, defending with the bishop on d6, white would continue with f4, queen e6 and bishop c4, attacking the queen, and black would collapse here. He cannot take with the queen on c4 because of the double check on d6 with knight and with queen, and on the next move queen on c4 would fall. Therefore black played king f7 here, trying to find a shelter for the king, but it was hopeless. Kasparov continued the attack with knight d5, and after bishop e6, Kasparov played knight f4, attacking the bishop. Anand played queen e7, defending on e6, and now white played a quiet move after which black resigned. Pause the video and try to find what Kasparov played. For those who found rook e1, well done. After this move, Anand resigned without waiting for the end, since there was no defend along the e file. If black tried rook e8, then simply knight takes on e6, queen takes e6, and if black recaptures with the rook, he loses after bishop c4, pinning the king and the rook, and if he takes with the king here, then bishop b5, check from the rook, and on the next move rook on e8 will fall. A truly beautiful game in which Kasparov once again demonstrated his dominance in attack. Like most of his games, this one was full of tactical blows. If you enjoyed this game, please like the video and write in the comments which game you would like to see next. Best regards.